In 1986, 4 men were convicted for the murder of Sherry Ann Duncan. A few years later, however, they were all released. Did they truly commit such a murder? Welcome to Can You Solve It Asian Crime Case Edition on Shock Podcast, where we talk more about unsolved cases and the theories behind them. My name is Abigail, and today we have Lauren here together with me, and we will be covering a case that happened in Thailand. Hence, we have actually mango sticky rice here. Lauren told me that she don't eat mangoes, so I'm a bit sad, but if you want, you can eat the rice.
I'll eat the rice.
Yeah. Okay, so actually today's case is slightly different. We'll cover more on the dark and corrupt police force at that time. Okay, it's not so much of the murder itself, because the murder, actually, they didn't really talk a lot about the murder, but everything that happened behind the murder case. So, let me start you off, right, with a question. What would you do if one day you suddenly got accused for something that you didn't commit? Like, you were sentenced to death for something that you didn't commit. What would you do?
Oh my gosh, I guess I would just accept fate.
Why? Will you not fight for your own innocence?
But the thing is that if everyone is just accusing me and to the point where what if my parents and my family doesn't even believe me anymore and I'm just alone? And then I don't know how would I feel though. I think I would try until to the point where I cannot try, I'll just accept fate.
Yeah, at one point you'll get so tired and then you're like, you know what?
Exactly.
Whatever.
And then you just pray. That's the only thing you can do.
Yes.
Just look up and pray.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with our victim.
Okay.
Sherry Ann Duncan was a 16-year-old female. She was born to an American father and a Thai mother. And she was actually described as a very talented girl, so she knows a lot of languages, English, Thai, and even Mandarin. And when she was younger, she actually mostly stayed with her grandmother, and she only ever visited her parents on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Right? But when she was around 16, her grandmother actually passed away. And during that time, it was where she started living at Eastern Bangkok, where it was alleged that her caretaker or boyfriend at that time was 41 years old, Vinay. Okay, I don't want to butcher the name, but his name is called Vinay Chaipanit.
Okay, wait, I think that's already a red flag. 41 years old and a 16 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, it was alleged, so we don't know whether were they actually dating lah. But he was her caretaker in that sense, yeah. And so he actually arranged an apartment for her to stay at. Mm-hmm. So, a bit of background on this story was that the whole case of Sherry Ann actually occurred on July 22nd, 1986 in Bangkok, Thailand. Sherry Ann was having a normal day at school, and after finishing her classes in the afternoon, she was heading back, and it was alleged that she was abducted then. Right. The exact circumstances of her disappearance were actually not made clear. But 3 days later, her body was actually discovered in the wetlands outside of Bangkok at this place called Samut Prangkan province. And autopsy actually didn't state how she died, but it did state that she had lack of oxygen in her brain. So if you think lack of oxygen, probably she was strangled. Probably, right? Right. I cannot think of anything else if you have lack of oxygen in your brain. I don't know, unless...
Okay, maybe not strangle. You know the thing where they put by the
styrofoam? Waterboarding?
I don't know. You know the styrofoam thing, and then they try to.
Yeah, I think it's called waterboarding.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, there was actually no signs of struggle, and there was also no signs pointing to any sexual assault.
Oh.
Yeah. So
wait, sorry. So there's no signs of marks by the neck.
I think this what it means of struggle is more when you're fighting back.
Yep.
And then you would
scratch.
kind of fight for your life.
Yeah.
So there was no signs of
Also
her
maybe bruises.
fighting. Yeah, so bruises, everything. There was none of those. And there was also no any signs that pointed to sexual assault.
Okay.
Right? So honestly, her murder, well, no one knows lah, like what actually happened to her. The initial investigations, so actually 1 month after, the police arrested 5 men
Okay.
and charged them with premeditated murder. Among the 5 men, one of them was actually Sherry Ann's alleged partner, which was Nai, right? And the rest of the men was the people working under him. So we have one called Rungkarum, Pitek, Tawet, and Kurasi. Okay, it's Thai names are so long. It's a struggle, but
It's okay.
but
you
yes,
fixed it.
thank you. But I think the reason why I brought it up is because after that we'll learn more about them, and I feel like they should be respected, right?
Respected.
Yes.
Okay.
So stay tuned. So why were they convicted, right? Was because there was a witness that actually claimed that he saw 4 men drag Sherry Ann out into a taxi just outside her school the day that she went missing.
Okay.
And he specifically pointed out that she had golden hair.
Okay.
So which described the hair of Sherry Ann lah.
Yep.
Right? And out of the 5 men, Winai was released for unknown reasons. But I guess there wasn't enough evidence on him, so he was released. However, the other 4 men, because they made statements and testimonies that seemed enough for the police to be like, okay, you are guilty. So they were all actually sentenced to death in 1990.
1990. Okay.
Yeah. So the case happened in 1986 and they were all sentenced to death in 1990. But during that period of time, of course, they were like in jail lah, right? Until the verdict was made.
Yep. Sorry, out of the 5 men, the latch got out of it.
Yeah, only the partner.
Okay, only the partner. Okay.
Yeah. And after they were all sentenced to death, after the verdict was made, the rest of the world seemed to like forgot about this case, thinking, justice has been served and everyone moved on. But this is where the story actually took a turn. Because in 1988, the Crime Suppression Division actually wrote a secret letter to the Samut Prangkan police stating that they actually had enough evidence indicating that the 4 men on trial were actually not involved in the murder. So they received a tip that said that, the 4 men were actually not involved.
Okay.
But guess what? The police didn't care about the letter and they carried on with the case. So because the letter was received in 1988, they were actually still convicted in 1990.
Yes.
So basically no one cared that they might have been innocent. But ultimately, at the end, the Supreme Court finally decided and declared that the men were innocent. So they were all set free in 1993. But that was 7 years after they went to jail. So they still served jail time for 7 years, even though they were innocent.
Wait, I thought they were served to death.
Yeah, they were sentenced to death.
Sentenced to death.
But when you're sentenced to death, you don't get immediately killed. Like, you wait. There's a death row where you wait in line to get killed.
Oh, okay. It's like all right.
Yeah. Although they were released due to the harsh prison conditions, most of them, they suffered a lot in jail.
Yeah.
And they died before they could actually taste true freedom.
Oh, okay.
So Lungkarum actually passed away in 1991 due to a heart attack in jail.
Oh.
So he died in jail before he could get out.
Okay.
And Pitek passed away just a few months after he was released due to tuberculosis that he contracted in jail.
Okay.
Right? And Tawet passed away in 1999. And the only survivor who survived all the way until 2012 was Kurasi, but he was actually badly beaten in jail.
Oh.
So he was actually crippled because he suffered from severe spine injuries.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I mean, he suffered and then he came out still, you're in a wheelchair for life.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not great.
So, after they were released, re-investigation started in 1995, and that was because the Crime Suppression Division of the Royal Thai Police actually found discrepancies in the initial investigation. So, the new investigation found out that all 4 men, they were coerced to make false confessions. So, they didn't do it, but the police force kind of pushed them into saying like, yes, I committed the murder.
Oh my gosh, did they get any money out of it or nothing at all?
They did.
Okay.
We'll go into how much they get later.
Alright.
But to me, it's like, does money really equal to a life?
But the thing is, I feel like there's probably more to it, and now I really want to know.
Right, yeah.
Maybe probably one of their family members also did a crime, and then they are trying to like save that family member by just saying, yeah, I did it.
Right, it could be that. Like they were trying to protect someone, like
Yes.
essentially. The supposed witness also, the supposed witness who say that he saw Sherry Ann being abducted by the 4 men, he was actually intimidated by the police to give a false testimony of events,
Okay.
which actually never happened. So he actually never saw a girl getting abducted.
Okay.
But you know how when someone tries to lead you into a conversation,
Yeah.
they have the answer in their mind and they want you to say the answer.
Yeah, they're manipulating
Yes,
you.
exactly. So
Okay.
that was what happened, right? And so in 1996,
Yeah.
after the 4 men were released, after the new investigations kicked in, they started focusing on this woman called Sui Bun Patpong Panitin. Let's call her Sweet Boon,
Okay.
right? Her father was actually very rich and quite well known in the area. She was then convicted together with 2 other hitmen
Yep.
because allegedly she hired them to kill Sherry Ann, right? So it's a whole new thing now. So they focus on the 4 men. Now the 4 men released. Now they are focusing on this girl, this lady. And the supposed motive was because Sherry Ann had an affair with her partner. Her partner was
Vinyl.
Vinay.
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 Okay. And how old? Do you know how old is this lady?
I guess around his age.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's not as young as Sherry Ann.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so the supposed motive was that Sherry Ann had an affair with Wainai's partner, not
Wait,
Wainai's
no.
partner, Sui Bun's partner, Wainai, and she planned to take revenge on her. That was the motive.
Wait, so Sherry Ann is the one that had an affair with Wainai, betraying Sui Boon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
because just now you mentioned about the age gap,
Yes.
16 and 41.
Okay.
So it's because this guy actually already allegedly had a partner, Sui Bun, right?
Okay.
But there was not enough evidence. So the court found her not guilty in 1999 and she was released.
And what about the 2 hitmen?
The 2 hitmen actually ended up in jail.
Okay.
I think they did serve for a while,
Okay.
but it was all alleged. This case, a lot of things was kept very secretive. So no one actually knew exactly what happened,
Okay.
right? So the case came to a dead end at the end. The aftermath of this case was that the police officer who initially led the investigation, his name was called Mongkol. He was actually discharged from his role after they found evidence of him forging evidence.
Okay.
Like fabricating those evidence,
Yeah.
getting people to say things that they didn't actually do. Now he was wanted in court.
Okay.
But he fled to the US secretly and he was never convicted for his actions.
And now he's still probably alive.
He's still probably alive somewhere. Right?
Okay, wait. Now I want to know the relationship between him and the girl, the Sui Boon.
We will get there when we get into our theories. We are getting there soon.
Okay.
Their relationship is very, very complicated.
Yes.
But so far, what you need to know now is, okay, so we have Sui Boon, who allegedly was the partner of Wainai,
Nai.
right? And Wainai was having an alleged affair with Sherry Ann. So that's the three relationship now.
Yep.
Later, Mongol will come into the picture. Yes.
Okay.
So the aftermath for the victim, Sherry Ann, and the wrongly accused man, because of them, actually this story brought in a lot of improvement in the justice system, like such as the changes, how they treat suspects, and also some changes in the law. So the damaged parties actually will get 15 to 20% compensation. But until now, a lot of people still don't know much about this law. So people who get falsely convicted, still, some of them haven't gotten compensation yet because they don't know of such law existed.
But 15 to 20% is very little.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
But it's 15 to 20% of what? Do you know?
But I think it's depends on the severity of the crime. So I guess it's the how much they had to
maybe
pay for a lawyer, or how much they were.
Yeah, or maybe like how long you've like been in jail, and then probably that's like a fine for it, and then that's like 15 to 20% off that fine, let's say.
Yeah, probably that, right? And the wrongly accused man, actually, a lot of people say that they were just scapegoats in this case.
Yes.
Right? Like, they were just there, wrong place at the wrong time, and they got coerced into this whole situation. So they were given compensation of 26 million baht, which in Malaysian ringgit is about 3 million ringgit
Per person. Okay. Wait, actually, so did Wainai get it?
I don't think so.
Considered like as a...
Yeah, but because he was never in jail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
True.
so I don't think he got any compensation. But the four men, because some of them have already passed away, so they didn't manage to get the compensation, but their family got it instead.
Okay.
But to me personally, it's more like it's like a case of, am I only worth this much? Is my life only worth 3 million, right? You know, you give me 3 million, but you ruin my entire life.
Yeah, but also depends on how old you are.
True.
If you're like 70.
True. But they were between the age of 30 to 45.
Okay,
so it's still a working class. Like, they still had a chance to work and earn money.
Yes, and still live a full life.
Exactly.
After that.
Yeah. On the other hand, also, Sherry Ann's death was the driving force to a lot of political change in the country. So Sherry Ann's parents put her to rest by cremating her body in 2001, even though initially they did say that they would wait until the killer or killers were found.
Wait, but how long was she dead for already by that time?
So her body was found in 1986, right? So they only cremated her in 2001.
5 years later.
No, more than that. 15 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So she probably wasn't in peace. Like
Yeah. Right. It's really sad. But yeah, so they finally put her to rest. Now let's go into our theories. So one of it was that Mongkol, the police officer, he was actually rumored to have covered up the identities of the killers that who murdered Sherry Ann. Right? And at that time, because the Thai police were actually known to be corrupted and they receive bribes very easily. I mean, nowadays it's still going on, but at that point of time, it was very severe. And the Mongkol might have gotten, some funds, and he's like, okay, let me just shove it one side, cover up the case, end of story.
Yes.
Right. And another thing is that, so we are back to Sui Boon.
Yeah.
So, it was alleged that Sui Boon might have been involved. Like, she actually was involved in the case.
Yes.
And Mongkol might have took a bribe from her, as he might have wanted to build connections with her family because, her father is wealthy, right? And another thing is also, Mongkol and Sui Boon had an affair. Allegedly.
Yes, I'm definitely leaning towards that.
Yeah. So allegedly, they had an affair. And in order to get to the father's good side,
Yes.
he
She married Y9.
no, it's more like she and Mongkol, I think, started building like a relationship. And so Mongkol wanted to get on the good side of Soibun's father.
Yes.
So what he did was, okay lah, I cover up the case. Then, I don't tell anyone. Then I get on your good side. I might be able to marry your daughter, kind of thing.
But then there's still Y9 though. Then she should have killed Y9 instead of Sherry Ann.
But we don't know whether she was actually the one who killed Sherry Ann, right?
Yep.
Like, I don't know. She's just a bit like secretive, I think. And yeah, there's something going on, but not too sure, right? Ultimately, the whole case came down to everything happened due to money and greed,
Yes.
power corruption,
Yes.
and also a malfunctioned justice system.
Yes.
Right.
It could come down to that.
Yeah. So what do you think about this case? Do you have any theories? And also, who do you think the killer or killers are?
I definitely think Suibun probably killed. It made sense for me that Suibun kills Sherry, even though she kind of got hitmans to kill her, but then she's the main person. But also, I'm also not sure, like, what did Y9 do throughout this whole thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because it's like he didn't really help the people that was working for him. And then it's like he also kind of just died, like not died, but like just
like
played
went into the background.
Yeah. When he is supposed to be like fighting. If if it was me and I had like, and my partner died for no reason, I would definitely like stand up and like try to find out. But he just kind of dissolved into the background. So I'm guessing he also might be the one.
Interesting.
Yes. And then Mongo, that one, definitely I think he did some corruption there.
I mean, if not, he wouldn't have run away all the way to the US honestly.
Yeah. And then he just like, he's probably happily living with all his money, wealth.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think...
Yeah. Actually, about this case, there's actually a documentary.
Oh.
Yeah, you can actually watch it online. It's based on this story lah. The relationships of everyone is a bit more intertwined than what they put out to be. I'm sure there's a lot of things, a lot of layers that we have not uncovered. But yeah, this is the main gist of the story.
Oh, okay. But at the same, but until now, have they really found out who the killer is, or it's just allegedly?
Alleged. So Sherry Ann's murder actually showed how dark and failed the justice system was. And while the real criminals escaped, innocent people were still unjustly convicted. The killers or the killer could still be roaming around the streets waiting for another chance to strike again.
That's how scary life is.
Yep. Thank you for listening to Can You Solve It Asian Crime Case Edition on Shock Podcast. Do you have any theories? Let us know, stay safe, and see you soon.